Hey everybody! I wanted to come back here and revisit the Semmelweis Reflect, and I wanted to go over something else. So as you know, I love psychology, and we'll go over this Semmelweis Reflex. It's like people reflexively fear the new, and it is named after this doctor who in the 19th century came up with the idea that you needed to wash your hands before you dealt with patients because it could save lives. So no one went for it, and they continued the killing. Okay, so really the reason is that that there's more to it than that. Semmelweis wasn't just asking doctors to do something new. He was saying that they'd actually been killing their patients. That had to be a bitter pill for doctors to swallow. There was also the matter of reprisals for those who hadn't followed Semmelweis directives, only to be once they were released. Medical lawsuits aren't new. A lot of pride and money was resting on Semmelweis being wrong. Interesting. So that's a different website than I showed you guys the last time. So I'm going to go to this other thing. Now, there's been a shake-up at the ASPCA, and Ed Sayers, the CEO of Ed Sayers, has been replaced by a new guy called Matt. And our friend Nathan Winograd wrote to him and said, why, since the ASPCA tried to stop this legislation in New York that would have made it mandatory that shelters cooperate with rescues, they blocked that legislation along with Pacelli and all those other guys. So that means that every year there are 100,000 dead dogs and cats that could have otherwise been placed. Now, I think this is a great graphic. Okay, he has. Here is a 747. So apparently this is how much 3 747s is how much that weighs. 100,000 dead dogs and cats. If you put one in every seat in the stadium, they would fill the entire stadium twice. If you lined them up end to end, they would be 30 miles long. So it would take you 12 hours to see them all. And if you look at these paws, this is like incredible. He has these paws to represent every life lost. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And, you know, you get the point, right? I mean, really, how can people be so cruel? How can people be so cruel? Well, if we go back to the Semmelweis reflex, Semmelweis wasn't just asking doctors to do something new. He was saying that they'd actually been killing their patients. Well, I mean, it's a little, in the no-kill movement, it's a little more straightforward than that. I mean, they are killing their patients or their inmates, okay? And they've been telling us that this is the only way to do it, but we've proven otherwise. There's a new technique, okay? Now, let's just look. Some of us wanted people to wash their hands. So I wanted to show you. I know a little bit about Europe, and Europeans still don't bathe that much. The average French man changes his underwear once every 6 weeks, for example. And people didn't bathe. They bathed about once a year. So 1500 to 1800 is around the time when he was around, and you know, they say that they would take a bath in the local river in the summer. Okay, because really to get heated water was a big pain, and so people didn't do it that often. And actually, they were afraid of it because it caused them to get cold, and which led them to get sick. So they were afraid of it. Also, I think that this, if you look here at this fancy car coming down the street, and this pedestrian is going to try and walk, but he can't, even though that's the law. And we found out from Berkeley that when people have money, when people have power, that they become less empathetic. They lose their ability to be empathetic, and that explains it. But it's sad.